In this session, we close off Genesis chapter 5 with Lamech, Noah, and Noah's 3 sons. And Lamech lived, well, we're reading in verse 28 to 32. And Lamech lived 182 years and begot this son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord had cursed. You see, even up to this point, it was tough going on that ground, in spite of that perfect environment, because God cursed the ground. And Lamech lived after he begot Noah 595 years and begot sons and daughters. Here we get it again. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now let's see what comments we can make about this. Lamech was 182 years old when he fathered Noah. And by the way, Noah's name means rest, repose, consolation. We get this from Lamech's word at his birth, the same shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord had cursed. You know, some have speculated that this was a prophecy, that Noah would bring the rest and comfort so sought after by the godly remnant of that time. Ooh, here's the first time I really mention that word remnant. You see, remnant is a chosen few, picked out from a whole bunch. And I believe that the names mentioned here of the righteous people were a remnant that God preserved all the way through. A remnant of people that believed in him and not some idol. In doing the math, it is interesting to note that Noah was 10th in descent of Adam, in the line of Seth. He was the son of Lamech and grandson of Methuselah. Now Methuselah, in turn, was for 250 years contemporary with Adam. Wow! Adam was still alive. And Lamech, Noah's father, was about 50 years old at the time of Adam's death. Folks, we don't know what these patriarchs did with their long lives. But man, they lived pretty long. Now, after we started this chapter, we stated that the phrase, and he died, is repeated over and over again. It reminds us, oh, death reminds us of the consequence of sin. And he died is stated 8 times. In Hebrew numerology, as we've stated before, the number 8 is very significant. You see, even in music, the number 8 is significant, isn't it? It's as if God built that into our very nature. Let's see if we can test this out. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. That's the perfect 7. But no. It's complete without the do. You see, so we've got 7 notes, which is the full octave. But then you start the new octave and end it off with that. You see, in everything, the 8th seems to complete it, which is a new beginning for another octave. And the same thing here. In Hebrew numerology, we have 8 signifying a new beginning. If that is true, it is no coincidence that the 8th death introduces us to Noah, who will introduce mankind to a new beginning. It all works into a plan, doesn't it? It's, I would not have read it if I would not have thought about it if I wasn't studying this in such fine detail. And how about as we're thinking on that thought about 7's and 8's, the number 7 signifies perfection or completion. I wonder if there is a coincidence or a significance to Noah's father dying at the age of 777. 777. 3 7's. And then we have Noah, who was perfect in his generations. Genesis 6, verse 9. Regardless, we hear nothing of Noah till he is 500 years old. And then there were born to him these sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now, it would be easy to assume they were triplets, but apparently they were not. In Genesis 10:21, Japheth is called the elder, and in Genesis 9:24, Ham is the younger son, and that means Shem was in the middle of the 3. He, however, is listed first as he was included in the genetic line of Messiah. Wow, we're going to get there, and we'll see how that works out. Shem simply meant, now this is funny, Shem simply meant name. My goodness. Or name of renown. That's like me calling one of my daughters, hey, Star. Or, hi, girl's name. It's weird. Isn't it weird? But that is what he called Shem. Isn't that weird? Ham meant warm or hot. Apparently later Ham was too hot to handle. And finally, Japheth, the oldest, meant enlarged, or God shall enlarge. Later on in history, that's exactly what happened. The Caucasians spread all over the world, having influence both with the Hamite people and also with Shemite people. Well, let's see how that works out. in the next chapter, in our next session. Let's see how everything works out with Noah and his 3 sons. I believe when we look objectively what is being said in our Bibles, sometimes we can catch things that we would miss if we didn't study it in detail. Right?